What's up, everybody? Lawler here, your inside source for all things Rocket League. We finally have details about the upcoming Winter Splits Major and how they're going to be handling it despite the pandemic. Newsflash, it is the same as last time pretty much, but a couple differences and a little bit more cutthroat than what we saw in the past. So if you'd like to know that information, as always, if you guys enjoy the content, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss out on anything. And if you'd like to support me directly, bottom left, you can find all the social medias. Those are also down in the description, along with everything we talk about in the video. But with that said, let's actually get into it. Put out in a blog post on the Rocket League Esports website is on January 21st. Catch the RLCS X Winter Split Majors in February. And TLDR, before you guys get into anything, this is pretty much a recreation of what they did for Fall Split, but they are taking over every single weekend in February. So we're going to detail specifics on the blog post, break it down, as well as talk about some long-term things to hopefully give some insight into that. So the first thing it states is, after a hard-fought Winter Split, it's finally time to crown some regional major champions. Due to Corona health concerns, there won't be an in-person major, and each RLCS region will have their own online regional major. So what can you expect from the Winter Split regional majors? Let's dive into it, how it'll work. Much like the Fall Split, the regional majors with the current RLCS format, but cut in half. Check out a quick breakdown of how each regional major will work. The reason why they say each regional major is because, if you guys are unaware, these are supposed to be live events with international competition. Majors, if you guys, and I will always reference the Boston Major of Counter-Strike, where Cloud9 ended up going and winning with Stewie 2K and the boys. That is what the gravitas of these events are supposed to be, but because of the pandemic and not doing an esports bubble, we can't have that. We are supposed to have 4 regions coming together to fight for points to go to the World Championship. These are supposed to be very big events with a lot on the line, but we're not able to do that. So what they are doing this time around is, in the past, it was 16 teams, but because it is getting more and more cutthroat, and they want to create separation between the top tier, the ideology behind it is, over the course of an entire season, or in this case RLCS X, in a circuit-based format, you want to reward the current best performing. So what ends up happening is, not only are the prize pools still the same, but there are less teams that get to pick up from that prize pool. We're going 16 down to 12, so less teams that have a chance at a prize pool. You also then have these teams being rewarded with double points that go towards the World Championship, where other teams are missing out on. It creates that separation and that gap, and that's probably going to continue into the spring split as well, where points are going to be more important. You're going to reward the guys even more. There's going to be less spots. There already has been announced that there's only 20 spots in the spring split as compared to 24 for their regionals. And that should be no different for the split when it comes to the major as well. So in the winter major, there is 12 teams, so they're cutting that down a little bit, and each regional major will run for 2 days. That is a lot of Rocket League in 2 days. Because it is still a double elimination format with 12 teams, you're talking 22 possibly matches, 23 if there's a bracket reset, in 2 days. That is a lot of Rocket League, and I'm going to emphasize it again. To combat that, they will have a B stream on the first day, but that's still a lot to get through. You're talking 23 matches. What I assume will happen is they will cover as much as they can of the upper and lower bracket in the first day. So the guys that win through are going to be rewarded heavily with a long-term break. The people in the lower bracket are going to have an extremely long day, with the A stream and the B stream trying to coordinate those matches and get them done as quickly as possible. So that is what will be happening on the first day, or the Saturday of every single day, or every single weekend in February. On the second day, on Sundays, you will then see the final event, which is the later half. I assume this will not have a B stream, and it'll be probably 6 to 8 matches on one dedicated channel. Another really long day of Rocket League. The things that are staying the same are the prize pool as well as the point earnings. In the past, point earnings were doubled. In the fall split, that is staying the same. So for certain teams that have a chance to break into this, they have a chance to really jump up in the rankings if they have a good performance. The other side of it, because there's $100,000 on the line, that is staying the same. But as I mentioned just a bit ago, it is still only 12 teams as compared to the 16 it was previously. So $100,000 up for grabs between 12 teams. But that is only for North America and Europe. For whatever reason, South America and OCE get screwed over yet again with only a $25,000 prize pool. So yes, there is $250,000 up, but why not make it 50K at least for South America and OCE? And like, yeah, they're on the main broadcast instead of through Rocket Street and RL Oceania and stuff, but like, why not increase the prize pool for the guys? Like, this is still a major. Like, they still need that kind of representation so they can earn this living, because there is a lot of those teams that do not have funding from organizations and are also struggling, and this is how they're able to commit to it full time, is with these prize pools. So for them to be a fourth of the prize pool for both OCE and South America, I think is pretty unfortunate from their regards, but maybe that'll change if we do have a world championship and those regions get better than top 6. I think that's going to be a requirement. If OCE and SAM want to have better prize pools and better funding in their regions, they've got to find a way to get the performances when they can. So kind of an uphill battle because they're not getting that many chances, but you know, what can you do? As I mentioned, all the broadcasts for every single region will be on the main channels on Rocket League Twitch and YouTube. And for the dates and times and any additional information, they talk about the winter majors will be taking over the entire month of February. Each RLCS region gets its own weekend, and all the action will take place on the official channels, as I just stated. Up first will be OCE on February 5th and 6th. The following weekend will be South America on the 13th and the 14th. The weekend after that will be EU on the 20th and 21st. And then NA will be on the 27th and the 28th. All the specifics and dates and times should be showing over here while I'm discussing this. But if not, a link in the description to this blog post will have all the specific times with time conversions and all that kind of fun stuff. They do state, as I've already mentioned, the first day of each regional will feature a B stream, so you can catch all the matches happening, while the matches on the second day will broadcast exclusively on the main Rocket League Twitch and YouTube channels. So we do finally have some details in regards to the winter major, how things are going to work out, and I feel like this is pretty cookie cutter. It makes sense. You don't really want to change what has worked, in the sense of, yes, we can't do anything in regards to the pandemic, so we might as well do a regional major, at least then rewarding points and stuff. And it's a pretty good fix, if I'm being completely honest, compared to the situation that is. My big concern and my big hope is that if this does continue, you have not done any majors, you have not done any live events. As Epic Games and Psyonix have come together, you have saved a ton of money not putting on these majors. My hope is that with that in mind, if the spring split also cannot happen in a live event due to the pandemic, that there will for sure 100% be an esports bubble for the World Championship. Because if you have to cancel the World Championship 2 years in a row, that is going to completely stagnate the progress that you have been making. You cannot delay that. So my hopes and my concerns are saying, you know what, we're stomaching it. We can't do majors. We'll make up stuff for that. But the World Championship, no matter what, will happen, and it will only be the direct people involved. That is my hope as a worst case scenario. Best case scenario, pandemic gets cleared up, we end up having a World Championship, everything is sunshine and rainbows. But again, being realistic with it, based upon the time frame, we're supposed to see a World Championship sometime in June, July area, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So maybe, just maybe, with all this money being saved, Epic will bust out the big paycheck and say, you know what, we're going to make this happen with a bubble. So who knows what will happen? I'm curious to know what you guys think will happen. But that is the details for the upcoming winter major. We'll be watching it, doing watch party, twitch.tv/LAWLer if you guys would like to join us on the watch parties when those go down. If you guys do have any questions, comments, concerns, leave those in the comments down below. Give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and we will see you next time. Peace.